This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow man-child Johnny Karlic. And we are back for the Rick and Johnny podcast right here on Most Valuable Podcast. Taking my headphones off because we're going to start the show. I don't have them plugged in, so it's weird kind of hearing myself muffled. But if you're new to the Rick and Johnny podcast, this is where we talk about everything really under the nerdy suns. We look at movies, we look at superheroes, we look at comics, we kind of look at everything in the nerd realm, and games as well. Thank you for throwing that in there.
You're welcome.
Before I tell you what we're talking about today, let me go through a little bit of housekeeping. Number one, thank you again to all of our patrons who support MVP each and every month. If you want to become a patron, check out the link in the description. $10 tier, you can come on a Rick and Johnny podcast every month. You are at that level. Number two, check out our store. Get an MVP t-shirt. I know I'm not wearing it now. I'm wearing my Bailey shirt, but go get the MVP t-shirt down below in the description as well. Most Valuable Podcast, that's where you're going to find everything for MVP each and every day. And then last but not least, if you're on Apple Podcasts, you're on iTunes, go give the Rick and Johnny podcast a 5-star rating. It really means the world to us, and it helps people who come across the Rick and Johnny podcast kind of decide whether they should listen to it. So go on and say, you know what, great podcast. You guys should definitely check it out. But Johnny, jam-packed show today. We're talking Ant-Man and the Wasp. Trailer came out earlier this week. We also have a little bit of Avengers 4 theories. Well, Infinity War Avengers 4 theory we're talking about. We're looking at Power Rangers being bought by Hasbro. Ooh. What does that mean for the movie franchise? And then we added a fourth topic about a Superman video game being produced by Rocksteady Studios. So a true jam-packed show on the RNJ today. No, not Bebop. This isn't Ninja Turtles, not Rocksteady and Bebop. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into Ant-Man and the Wasp. And before we do so, we're going to do what we haven't done in a while. We're actually going to react to the trailer. So if you guys haven't seen it, you'll be able to see it. And then we're going to kind of talk about it. So I've got mine all geared, ready to go. Do you have yours all geared, ready to go?
If I can untangle my headphones, then
yeah,
yes.
Johnny's got to get those headphones out.
I don't know what happened. I put them down and they decided to...
Well, you pulled them out. And I don't think you did. You plug them in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see you plug them in.
Ninja.
So let me know when you're ready. Got it on the space bar. You know the drill. 3, 2, 1, go.
So, how long have you been Ant-Man again?
Not long.
Skateboard.
It just sort of happened.
I wish I could fight bad guys like you.
I seem to mess it up almost every time.
I love that they have her as more of a main part of it.
Watching your back.
I'm surprised you couldn't stop that truck a little easier.
Like a partner.
Dr. Pym, I actually heard what happened to you. You opened up the quantum realm. That's when this crazy creepy ghost who like walks through walls and stuff.
Jeez.
Stole your tech. And now she wants to take over the world.
Is that weird that she can phase people through walls?
It is kind of weird.
Like she can kick you, phase you through the wall.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
It's weird.
That's us.
The only chance we got is both of you.
Ant-Man and the Wasp teaming up.
Follow my lead.
She seems more intense.
And playing the drum. You know what I like about Marvel trailers? The music.
Yes.
Like, the more recent ones have a great soundtrack.
They do. Ever since Guardians, honestly.
You go low, I'll go high.
Why would you... Why would I go low? I have wings.
Oh, that is so weird.
Hey, what'd I miss? We were just tiny.
I was partners with Hank on a project called Goliath.
How big did you get?
My record,
21 feet. You? 65 feet. 65.
It's insane.
Finish comparing sizes.
65.
65. 65. That's how high I got. So, question I have for you first off.
Just saying.
Is how big of a role do you think the Goliath is going to play in this story?
You know,
I know it's a minor question, but like having him in it though, I mean,
they're gonna show toying around with it more, but it's not gonna.
he's not actually going to be Goliath.
Not a lot of the time. No, I think it's gonna like. I mean, the idea is that they have a villain that is based off the quantum realm. Well, how do you get to the quantum realm?
Yeah.
You
Well,
shrink.
they're going to try to figure that out. And
Yeah, my guess. Well, if it's anything, because in Ant-Man 1, he made it to the quantum realm by turning off his resistor thing, right?
yes, and that's
forgot
how
what
it
they
got
named
like
it.
really small.
Yeah.
And just kept going down and down and down and down and down. And that's how he defeated Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, exactly.
But what we're talking about today is, and I gotta say, the spoiler. It's been 2 weekends, so kind of we've had that kind of, for us, we're going to keep the 2 weekend window open for spoilers. But if you have not seen Avengers Infinity War, there may be spoilers for that in here, because what we're talking about is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, the trailer looks great,
Fantastic.
but what will it mean for Avengers 4?
Yes.
Because there was one theory that I heard, and I'll start with this gut punch right out of the gate, is that there are people that are like, if you look at the poster, Scott Lang's in the front, the old Wasp is in the right behind him over his left shoulder. So what people are thinking is that snap happened, Hank Pym is gone, and also the Wasp, the new one, disappears. And one of the things that I heard that would be gut-wrenching, they go through the movie, either end of the movie after credit, they come out of the quantum realm, and as soon as they come out, it's like, does everything feel okay? And she goes, yeah, and just fades. And just fades right in front of him. Because will the quantum realm protect them from the snap?
Until
Because time moves differently, quantum realm compared to real life.
Yeah, maybe being in the quantum realm would be kind of like a
It slows down actual time.
yeah. That I would say maybe it negates it until they get back to the normal scheme of things.
Yeah.
just per se. So like the second they come out, Wasp.
And she just disappears.
Yeah, or I think she would be the one to say like say she feels funny.
Or would she say she feels funny at all? Because here's the other thing I thought of, is the only one that was like, oh, I feel funny, is the guy who had spider senses.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Well, they all had a weird look on their faces. Things went off because I believe, and you saw it more times than I have.
Yeah.
Didn't Sam Wilson say, oh, shit?
Yeah.
Before it happened to him? So they kind of had an idea what was going on because Bucky said, Steve, like, what's going on?
Yeah, whereas Spider-Man actually held it off. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this sets up Avengers 4, though, because of the timeline with it.
Yeah.
Where, yes, you have a villain where, like we're saying, very quantum realm-like, where actually...
Or powers come from the quantum realm.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard that in the comics, Ghost is actually a male, but they're gender-bendering it and making it a female for this one, which I'm like, fine, whatever.
No big deal.
Works for me, just as long as you explain it and have a actual, like, reason for doing so. But in the trailers, it doesn't look anything that's, like, super, like, oh, my God, why did you do that? And I haven't heard that response on Twitter. The thing that I think we'll question is, will this villain be wrapped up? Because this takes place before Infinity War. However, how long is this timeline going to go?
Yeah.
And when they're in the quantum realm, you might say, well, Ricky, you said it just happens before Infinity War. Well, what if they're in the quantum realm? They're in it for what seems like this amount of time, but in the real world, a lot more time.
It could be.
Has spanned to where they're coming out post-snap.
We don't know how it works in the quantum realm because the only other thing we've had that I can think of, we had
the Wasp. The first Wasp, the Hank Pym Wasp, because if you look at...
Well, yeah, no. What I'm trying to say, though, is more so the idea of the first, besides bringing up the quantum realm in Ant-Man and Wasp, the only other quantum thing I believe is there was a quantum asteroid field, just to give us an idea in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, how that kind of works is you can see it pops in, pops out, pops in, pops out somewhere else. And so, I mean... and those are the only two things, the only two movies we have any idea how quantum anything works.
And the thing that
in those movies,
here's the little, this is inferring a little bit, because they don't explain anything in Ant-Man, which I kind of like. Let us kind of think about what it's going to be. So it's going to be Michelle Pfeiffer who's playing the Hank Pym Wasp, the Wasp that was around when he was Ant-Man. Yeah. And we have her as a reference. She's been in the quantum realm for how long? It's been a really long time. You would think, oh, like, she should be dead by now. But in all the posters, she's the same age that she is, like, right now. Let's see, like 54. So, I mean, she's going to be, like, what, 60-something, if my math is correctly? If she was, like, 58. Actually, 58 would be, 60. So she'd be like a late 50s, early 60s. But in the quantum realm, she's been there for almost forever almost. I know that's not an exact measurement of time, but she's been in there this long, but she's only aged this long. So it gives us kind of an idea
that's because it probably
of how time works.
Goes slower in the quantum realm.
Because everything's smaller.
Yeah.
I just have, like... Do you think they'll tie up everything with Ghost by the end of this movie? Will they have to?
I think they will, just
because
so that
then the threat is Thanos and everything post-snap.
Yes, exactly. That's what I think is going to be. The thing would be... Well, where was my thought going? I think they would have to tie it all up, just for the fact of we got to worry about Thanos. We can't really be worrying about Ghost again. So, I mean, you don't want to have that issue. I mean, again, maybe if... Maybe it won't affect Ghost at all. The snap could... We don't know who the snap could affect, honestly. I mean, so if they don't tie it up with Ghost, who knows how they're going to play that out? Because that would be kind of like a lingering thought of, well, what's going on with Ghost? We didn't resolve that, and all of a sudden we have to worry about Thanos now.
Well, and also the thing that I'm looking at right here is the thing that I also like about this trailer. So the first trailer that came out, they kind of showed us who the villain would be. And you had to do a little bit of a deep dive if you wanted to know who the villain was. So, like, there were people around that time that were like, oh, it's Ghost. So it's like, cool. If you wanted to do that deep dive, you could do it. Now this one, they show us a little bit more of... They first show her face, and two, show a little bit more of her powers. So she can kind of do the whole vision thing where... I thought she was going to go right across the top of the car. No, I'll just phase right through you in the car to go through you. She kicks Scott Lang, phases him through a wall, and is some way able to do that with I'm assuming, the Pym technology to use
whatever
the quantum realm
incident
with that.
happened with her. Yeah. 'Cause it seems like there was some sort of incident that goes on. Like, I don't know if they were trying to get quantum realm without shrinking or something like that, but... That's what it seems like. Because
the thing I wonder with her, and this is a thing that I was getting to that I like, is that they don't make her motive shown. No. They don't make the motive, because, like, if you look at the comic version of Ghost, it even says here, very little is known of the identity of Ghost. He claims, because in the comics it's a he claims to have been an IT researcher at one point and to have been made into what he is by corporate greed. The Ghost is an anti-capitalist sabotager who seeks to destroy various political and economic institutions he views as oppressive, apparently being most interested in those dealing with advanced technology and surveillance. He has at times hired his services to the corporations and organizations such as Norman Osborn's Thunderbolts that wish to destroy rival groups. So I don't know if this is going to be a Ghost where it's like, she's working on her own, and it's like, I'm going after these individual tech companies because I don't like what they're doing. Kind of the whole Thanos route of it's almost the anti-hero kind of way of like, if you look at it from my point of view, I am doing what I think is right.
Yeah.
Or will it be such and such company try to pay her off to sabotage a rival, and Ant-Man and Wasp has to stop her?
Interesting concept. I'm curious now. I'm like, as soon as we saw this trailer, I was curious.
What do you think it could be?
Well, I'm trying to think of what it could be because I'm going to play through the trailer as we're talking about this. So it looks, from what the trailer's showing at least, it looks like it's an incident. Again, like I said earlier, it looks like it gives
her the power.
Yeah, it gives her power. Like an incident, it gives her the power to quantum realm. Like there was this bright light in somewhere, if I'm remembering in here correctly. And to me, it's like, I don't know if what her part is. It's an intern. She was part of the experiment of trying to get to the quantum realm, and something went awry. I mean, we could go with the trope of, oh, they're taking her research away. If we really want to go that route, but I don't know if they really.
How many times have we seen that in movies?
Exactly. Though? They're taking my research away. What the hell's going on?
We just saw it in Rampage. Am I
exactly.
wrong?
Yeah, no. That was one. Like I said, it's a trope. So my thought is like, either she has the incident done from whatever experiment was done, or like whatever her role in the experiment was, and maybe she blames companies like the corporations now, or like you said, tech companies more specifically, for what's wrong with her. Because obviously, if in this trailer, she's face shifting and it looks like she's like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, that kind of looks like maybe it was early on before she has a grasp of her abilities.
Exactly. So that I mean, doesn't mean you won't blame the corporations, but something tells me there's something a little bit deeper. Maybe she got paid by a company to sabotage it, and her sabotage kind of not screwed her over, but at the same time gave her those abilities, and she sabotaged it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And so now she's out for herself.
I just think it's like she's the main interesting point of this.
Right now I'm a little lost on her motive, honestly. Because now
I like that though. I like that they're
now.
not giving us all the like.
I don't want the story right now.
If you're new to the Rick and Johnny podcast, I'm a guy where give me trailers, make me excited, but keep some things for the movie.
Yeah.
Don't give me the whole kitchen. Like, don't give me everything in the kitchen sink before I walk into the movie the movie theater.
Don't give me your whole synopsis of your story.
Walk into the movie trailer, man. Gotta walk into the movie trailer, not the movie theater.
No, Ricky walks in the movie trailer.
Any other thing you think we should hit with the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer? How it'll fit in Avengers 4, greater story kind of a thing?
Wait, what do I want to hit?
Think? Yeah. Is there anything that we haven't hit that you're like, we've gotta?
I mean, no, I like it's just like a sort of a next step from the first trailer. Still love it. Still love all the things we're seeing.
Because this takes place right after Civil War. Correct? Yeah,
like right shortly after that, where Scott is kind of on parole-ish type thing, made a deal.
House arrest. Like Nat said in Infinity War, Clint and Scott took house arrest because it'd be too tough on their families.
Exactly. That's what they wanted. So,
and then Mark Ruffalo was like, wait, there's a Spider-Man and an Ant-Man? There's two of them now? The last thing I want to hit, though, is his daughter. Because I had read an article before this trailer came out that they're looking into or casting for a future movie an older version of his daughter.
Oh, wow.
So like we saw in the comics, his daughter in the comics that are going on right now, I believe, she's like in college.
Yeah.
So she's an older version of herself. I think that would be very interesting. Because then you can play off of, like, right now it's interesting only because we're introduced to his daughter. His daughter has kind of like a, like she said, oh, maybe you need a partner, someone to watch your back. And she has very, like, a child's, like, view of it. The relationship I can't wait to see in an Ant-Man movie is when she gets older, maybe introducing the mom a little bit more. Because the main thing of an Ant-Man story, I don't know how many Ant-Man comics you've read, Johnny.
Not a lot.
But the thing that's the most interesting about it is he's trying to be the best father for her.
Yeah.
He obviously can't because he's being Ant-Man and stuff. And then the wife is all about how can you how can you be the best father while being Ant-Man, putting her in that danger. And number 2, we want the mom is like, we want nothing to do with you. Like, I don't want you anywhere near her life because I don't want her in danger.
Yeah, I don't want
Scott,
her mixed
you're a
up in
criminal.
that.
You're and she's very negative on Scott to where it's like that separated parents where I'm going to keep the kid away from you because I don't want you being a bad influence on her type of a thing.
Or what the mom thinks is a bad influence.
Yes, exactly. That's where I'm going with that. So, I mean, I wonder if they kind of shift into that as we go further along, because after Avengers 4, it's supposed to be the cosmic universe.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing, again, is we get to see the Ant-Man and Wasp thing movie. We talked about how Wasp may disappear, how Hank Pym may disappear.
What if his daughter disappears?
That's what I was coming over to, because we also talked about in another podcast when we talked about Infinity Wars. Clint's rolling it. His family might disappear too if Clint's still around, because going with the theory of it ties in with Tony's premonition or his vision.
Thank you, from Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, I'm going with that little theory right now, and so I want until I see more that pulls out differently, because we don't know what happened to Clint.
Yeah,
we don't know what happened to his family. We don't know what's going to happen yet with Ant-Man and Wasp and the Wasp. Until this movie comes out.
Because it's interesting. They mentioned the more cosmic side of things for Phase 4.
Yeah.
But right now, the 3 films that are kind of, I don't want to say announced, but they're the ones that they're moving forward with. Guardians 3, which is obviously cosmic.
Yep.
Spider-Man 3 right now is set to open up Phase 4. That one's going to come out July 5th of 2019. So what it looks like...
3 or 2?
2. It's 2.
Okay, I was gonna say you said 3, and
so they have Spider-Man 2 is announced.
Yeah,
in the updated film, Spider-Man 3 will also be a part of Phase 4.
Okay.
So the movies that we have right now, Ant-Man and the Wasp, we'll be seeing in a couple months now.
Yeah.
Then early 2019 is Captain Marvel. May is Avengers 4.
Yep.
And then that July, Phase 4 starts with Spider-Man 2.
Wow.
And that's where we're at right now.
Wow.
And then it's basically, so, yeah, they're pretty much going on that timeline of right now, then they have from 2020 on, May, July, November, February, May, July. So that's what they have right now. So for maybe 2 years, we'll have that May, July, November kind of a roll.
Wow.
Kind of like when we had Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And that one was in November, whereas Black Panther, we waited all the way until
February.
Valentine's Day for that. Any final things before we move on to the next topic?
No, it looks great. I can't wait to find out.
Looks funny, too.
It does.
It's the right palette change we needed after Infinity War.
Not just that, it's very
or
Ant-Man.
Palette cleanser, I should say.
It's still very Ant-Man, which
Yes.
I like. So, it's that. I'm really curious of what her motivation is. And I don't want to really get it till the movie, but maybe a snippet in the final trailer.
Right before the movie.
Yeah, right before the movie. So I have a little idea what she is all about, but I don't want the full taste of it. Give me the sample, and maybe I'll see if I want the...
Give you the Sam's Club Costco sample.
Oh, I was about Baskin Robbins
Oh,
sample.
okay, that
Give me
too.
And see if I want one of those 31
see if
flavors.
I want that flavor before I
32?
want to go see it.
How many ever
We're going
flavors
to eat
they
the
have?
flavor anyways because we're going to go see the movie no matter what.
Exactly. I mean,
But
it's Moose Tracks. Can I get a sample of it before I
Exactly.
actually go and buy it?
let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. How hyped are you for Ant-Man and Wasp? What are you thinking about any of the things we talked about today about the story and how it could fit in with Avengers 4?